haunted, aren't you? Not by some ghost in a horror flick.
But by something way worse. The ghost of what could have been. That moment you didn't take the leap. That person you let slip away. That dream you buried because you were too damn scared. It's there, lurking in the back of your mind, whispering, what if you'd done things differently? That's the sting of regret, and it's eating you alive. Stay. This is Rawpsych, and we're about to face the Phantom head on. Right now, you might be sitting there, replaying a moment in your head, a misconnection, a lost opportunity, a choice you didn't make. Maybe it's a job you turned down because you thought you weren't ready, only to watch someone else take it and soar. Maybe it's the person you didn't fight for, the one you let walk away because you were too proud or too afraid to show how much they meant to you. Or maybe it's a dream you shove into a drawer, the business you didn't start, the book you didn't write, the trip you didn't take, because you told yourself, I'll do it later, and later never came. These aren't just random thoughts. They're the ghosts of what could have been, and they're not here to haunt you for fun. They're here because regret isn't just a feeling. It's a signal, a wake-up call, a brutal reminder of the life you could have lived if you'd made different choices. But here's the thing. Those ghosts aren't going anywhere unless you face them. They'll keep showing up, creeping into your quiet moments, making you question everything. Your decisions, your worth, your entire damn existence. And the longer you let them linger, the heavier they get, until they're not just haunting you, they're suffocating you. Stay. I'm about to show you where these ghosts come from. Let's start with what regret really is. Regret isn't just feeling bad about a choice you made, or didn't make. It's the gap between the life you're living and the life you imagine you could have had. It's the difference between the reality you're stuck with and the fantasy that keeps playing your head. The one where you said yes instead of no, where you took the risk instead of playing safe, where you fought for what mattered instead of letting it slip away. Psychologists call this counterfactual thinking. Imagining alternate realities, different outcomes. What could have been if you'd done things differently? And it's not always a bad thing. A little regret can be a teacher. It can show you what you value, what you want, what you're willing to fight for. But when regret takes over, when it becomes a ghost that haunts you, it stops being a teacher and starts being a tormentor. It turns into this endless loop of what-ifs that keeps you up at night, that makes you feel like you failed, like you're not enough, like you've missed your shot at the life you were supposed to have. And for a lot of us, especially if you're an American between 18 and 55, that loop is on repeat. We live in a culture that's obsessed with success, with opportunity, with the idea that you could be anything, do anything, if you just work hard enough. So when you miss out, when you don't take the chance, when you let an opportunity slip through your fingers, it doesn't just feel like a mistake. It feels like a betrayal of everything you're supposed to be. Stay. I'm about to show you why these misconnections and lost opportunities hit so hard. So why does regret hurt so damn much? Let's break it down. First, there's a misconnection. The relationships you didn't pursue, the people you didn't hold on to, the moments you didn't seize. Maybe you met someone who felt like they could have been the one, but you didn't make a move because you were too shy, too busy, too caught up in your own head. Or maybe you had a fight with a friend, a sibling, a parent, and you let pride get in the way, let the distance grow until it was too late to fix things. These misconnections, they sting because humans are wired for connection. We're social creatures, built to bond, to love, to belong. So when we miss out on a relationship that could have been, it's not just a loss of a person. It's a loss of part of ourselves, a part of our story, a part of the life we thought we'd have. And then there's a lost opportunities. The chances you didn't take, the risks you didn't dare, the dreams you didn't chase. Maybe you had a shot at a career that excited you, but you stayed in your safe, boring job because it paid the bills. Maybe you want to travel the world, but you kept putting off. Tell yourself you'd do it someday, and now you're stuck wondering if someday will ever come. These lost opportunities, they hurt because they're tied to your sense of potential, your sense of what you could have been. In America, we're raised on the idea of the American dream, the belief that if you work hard, if you take the right chances, you can have it all. So when you don't take those chances, when you let those opportunities pass you by, it feels like you failed a dream, like you failed yourself. And that failure, it cuts deep. It makes you feel like you're not living up to your potential, like you're not the person you were supposed to be. like you've let down the version of you that could have had it all. Stay, I'm about to show you how these ghosts keep you stuck. Here's the brutal truth. Those ghosts of what could have been, they're not just haunting you for the hell of it. They're keeping you stuck. They're trapping you in a cycle of regret that's damn near impossible to break. Let's talk about how that cycle works. First, you replay the moment, the misconnection, the lost opportunity, over and over in your head. You imagine what could have been, what you should have done, what you should have said. You tell yourself, if I had just taken that job, I'd be so much further ahead. Or if I'd told him how I felt, we'd still be together. That's the first stage, the fantasy. And it feels good for a minute, doesn't it? It feels good to imagine a life where you made the right choice, where you didn't mess up, where you got the happy ending. But then reality hits, and you realize that fantasy isn't your life. It's just a ghost. And that's when the second stage kicks in, the pain. You start to feel the weight of what you've lost, the sting of what you didn't do. You start to beat yourself up, to blame yourself, to tell yourself you're a failure, a coward, a fraud. You start to feel like you've missed your shot, like you'll never get another chance, like you're doomed to live with this regret forever. And that pain, it leads to the third stage, the paralysis. You get so caught up in what could have been that you can't move forward. You can't take new risks, can't chase new dreams, can't open yourself up to new connections, because you're too afraid of messing up again, too afraid of adding another ghost to pile. You're stuck, frozen in place, while the life you want, the life you still could have, slips further and further away. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the worse it gets. The ghosts get louder, the pain gets heavier, the paralysis gets stronger, until you're not just haunted, you're buried. Stay, I'm about to show you what these ghosts are really costing you. Let's talk about the cost of living with these ghosts. First, there's the emotional toll. Regret isn't just a passing feeling. It's a weight, a burden, a consonate that lives in your chest. It's the kind of pain that makes you feel small, that makes you feel like you're not enough, that makes you question every decision you've ever made. It's the kind of pain that keeps you up at night, that makes you dread the quiet moments, because that's when the ghosts come out of play. And that emotional toll, it doesn't just stay in your head, it spills over into your body, into your health, into your entire life. Regret can make you anxious, can make you depressed, can make you physically sick. Studies have shown that chronic regret is linked to higher levels of stress, higher levels of cortisol, higher rates of insomnia, even higher rates of heart disease. That's right, those ghosts aren't just haunting your mind, they're haunting your body, too. And then there's a relational toll. When you're stuck in regret, you're not fully present in your relationships. You're too busy replaying the past, too busy mourning what could have been, to show off with the people who are still here, the people who still matter. You might push people away, because you're afraid of getting hurt again, afraid of adding another misconnection to your list. Or you might cling too tightly, because you're desperate not to lose anyone else, desperate not to make the same mistakes. Either way, you're not connecting, you're just surviving. And finally, there's the existential toll. Regret doesn't just make you feel bad about the past, it makes you feel bad about your entire life. It makes you feel like you failed, like you've missed your chance, like you'll never be the person you were supposed to be. It makes you feel like your story is already written, like there's no point in trying, like you're just a ghost in your own life, watching it pass you by while you're stuck in past. Stay, I'm about to show you how to face these ghosts. So how do you stop these ghosts from haunting you? How do you break the cycle of regret and start living again? The first step is to face them head on. You can't keep running from your regrets. Can't keep pretending they're not there. Can't keep shoving them into a corner of your mind and hoping they'll go away. They won't. They'll just get louder, heavier, more suffocating. So you need to turn around, look them in the eye and say, I see you. I know you're here, and I'm not afraid of you anymore. That means acknowledging your misconnections, your lost opportunities, the choices you didn't make. It means sitting with the pain, letting yourself feel it, letting yourself grieve the life you didn't live. Maybe that means writing a letter to the person you let slip away, telling them everything you wish you'd said, even if you never send it. Maybe that means revisiting the dream you buried, looking at it with fresh eyes, asking yourself if it's really too late to chase it, Maybe that means just sitting with yourself in silence and letting the tears come, letting the anger come, letting the sadness come until you've felt it all. Because here's the thing, you can't heal what you don't feel. You can't move past what you don't face. So face it, feel it, let it hurt, and then let it go. Stay, I'm about to show you how to turn that pain into power. Once you face your ghosts, the next step is to reframe them. Those misconnections, those lost opportunities, they're not failures. They're lessons. They're data. They're proof that you're human, that you've lived, that you've tried. So stop looking at them as things you've lost and start looking at them as things you've learned. That job you didn't take, it taught you what you really want in a career, what you're willing to fight for. That person you didn't fight for, they showed you what you need in a relationship, what you deserve, what you'll never settle for again. That dream you didn't chase, it's still there, waiting for you, reminding you that it's never too late to start over. Reframing your regrets doesn't mean pretending they don't hurt. It means taking a hurt and turning it into something useful, something powerful, something that pushes you forward instead of holding you back. So take a piece of paper, write down your biggest regret, and ask yourself, what did this teach me? What do I know now that I didn't know then? How can I use this to make better choices, to live a better life, to be a better version of myself? That's how you turn pain into power. That's how you turn ghosts into guides. Stay. I'm about to show you how to take action. Now that you face your ghosts, now that you reframed them, it's time to take action. Regret thrives in inaction. It grows when you stay stuck, when you let the past dictate your future, when you let the fear of making another mistake keep you from making any choices at all. So you need to move. You need to do something, anything, to break the cycle, to prove to yourself that you're not a prisoner of your past. Start small. If you regret not chasing a dream, take one tiny step toward today. Maybe that's signing up for a class. Maybe that's writing the first page of that book. Maybe that's just Googling what it would take to make it happen. If you regret a misconnection, reach out to someone. Maybe not the person you lost, but someone new, someone you've been meaning to connect with, someone who could bring light into your life. If you regret playing it safe, take a small risk. Say yes to something that scares you. Try something you've never done before. Step out of your comfort zone just a little. The point isn't to fix everything overnight. The point is to show yourself that you're still here, that you're still capable, that you still have time to create the life you want. And as you take those small steps, you'll start to see something amazing. The ghosts start to fade. They don't disappear completely. They never do. But they lose their power over you. They stop being tormentors and start being reminders. Reminders that you're still alive, that you still have choices, that you still have a story to write. Stay. I'm about to show you what's on the other side. Here's what's waiting for you when you break free from these ghosts. First, there's freedom. Freedom from the weight of what could have been. Freedom from the endless loop of what-ifs. Freedom to live in the present. To focus on what's in front of you. To build the life you want instead of mourning the life you didn't have. That freedom, it's like taking a deep breath after years of holding it in. It's like stepping out of a cage you didn't even know you were in. And with that freedom come clarity. You'll start to see what really matters to you. What you really want, what you're really willing to fight for. You'll stop letting the past define you. Stop letting regret dictate your choices. Stop letting fear hold you back. You'll start to see yourself as someone who's capable, someone who's resilient, someone who's worthy of life that feels good, that feels real, that feels like yours. And that clarity, it'll change everything. It'll change the way you show up in your relationships. You'll stop clinging people out of fear. Stop pushing them away out of guilt. Start showing up as your true self, flawed, messy, human, and you'll find that the people who matter will love you for it. It'll change the way you chase your dreams. You'll stop letting regret talk you out of what you want. Stop letting the past convince you it's too late. You'll start taking risks, not reckless ones, but real ones, the kind that push you to grow, to expand, to become more of who you're meant to be. And even if you fail, even if you fall, you'll know you can get back up because you're not haunted anymore. You're not stuck anymore. You're free. And that freedom, it'll change the way you see yourself. You'll stop feeling like a failure, like a fraud, like someone who missed their shot. You'll start seeing yourself as someone who's still here, still fighting, still worthy of a second chance, a third chance, a million chances, because as long as you're breathing, it's never too late to start over. So don't let those ghosts of what could have been keep you stuck. Don't let them bury you. Face them, reframe them, move past them, and build the life you deserve. If this hit you hard, if it made you feel seen, if it made you realize you're not alone in this fight, hit that like button. Share your story in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's build a space where we can be real, where we can face the hard stuff, where we can lift each other up. And subscribe to Rawpsych. We're not done unpacking the messy, complicated, beautiful truth of what it means to be human. You're not alone in this. Stay real.